said. We have the high ground. Just remember that. The people in this room is the one that history will remember as the good guys. That's simple. All we have to do, we have a constitution. The greatest constitution, the greatest legal document that was ever written by man. All we have to do is elect men and women that stand up for the rights of that constitution. That's right. You know, just imagine if I'm standing here and I have a Bible in this hand, and a Constitution in this hand. Now, the Bible is the inspired Word of God. That's right. But through history, people have perverted that Bible and have done it and twisted it to do things they shouldn't do. Those same people have taken away from this Constitution. That Bible is just as holy Word of God as it ever was. It doesn't matter what those people did to it. That Constitution is the same thing. Like I said, I'm from the country. When I decided something needed to be done, I researched every avenue of change in this country. I even researched revolutions. And what I've decided by my research is this right here. If we could fight a war and come right back to the same spot as we're standing today, we couldn't have a better document than the U.S. Constitution. All we have to do is elect men and women with backbone that will hold people accountable for that Constitution.
Come on.
So that's what I'd like to talk to you about tonight. How do we do that? I'd like to say one thing about that to start off with. But before we can save this country, we have to save Louisiana.
That's right.
And before we can save Louisiana, we have to save our hometown.
That's right.
Our greatest influence is in our hometown because these people know you. You meet them at the grocery store, you see them at school, you see them at church, and you can sit around and you can talk to these people and you can get a plan. That is what we have to do. The next thing is this. When I brought my grassroots organizing to Baton Rouge when I got elected. I told them, I drive 4.5 hours, one direction, for $1,100 a month. I leave my wife I've been married to for 38 years, my 2 kids and 6 grandkids. When I go down there, I don't care if they fire me. I just want to do the right thing. It don't matter to me at all. What I found out, the more I say what I think, the more people like it. It's very simple. I tell the leaders down there in Baton Rouge, just stand up and do the right thing. The people will love you. They will elect you governor. And they will not do it. We passed out a form tonight talking about forced vaccinations. You asked why. I'm going to answer that question. You can put it don't matter if you're talking about your school board, Baton Rouge, or what are you talking about. The first sentence talks about the narcissistic control freaks that want to control every move you make. People fall into that category. The second one, were most of the people that fall in the category of the Judases that have sold their souls for 30 pieces of silver. It's about money. Let me tell you specifically why Baton Rouge hasn't signed a petition killing the governor's emergency order. So what do we do? How do we do to take back? We know the problem. What is the solution? I like to say this: identify the problem, concentrating on the solution. Because if we just look at the problem every day, it become overbearing to us. So we identify the problem and we concentrate on the solution. What I did when I went to Baton Rouge was started a grassroots organization called Operation Golden Arrow. What I just found out is when I started grassroots organizing, is we'd have meetings like this and we'd leave, and I didn't know how to contact anybody. So, like when you signed in, you gave your email address, and what that will allow us to do is contact you in the future and let you know what is going on. So what we have started doing, I'm doing everything I can to get fired in Baton Rouge. I'm telling you, I'm fighting with the school board, I'm fighting with the County Parish Commission, and I'm ready to go back. They're fixing to build an Oshner's in Bossier City. I'm fixing to go down and tell them to pull the permits on that, because we don't need a business that fires their employees. I don't know if you know it or not, Oshner's did not sick, dying patient to have medicine. The judge said, ordered them to give them the medicine, and they wouldn't give it to them. Ivermectin, that's correct. Yes, ma'am.
They just killed our son.
Right.
September the 25th, they murdered our son. I could say a lot on that. I have spoken on it, but I do want you to know that.
Well, I want you to pray about that, and I think those in the future, when you're ready to talk about it, those are the kind of testimonies that the people need to hear. I cannot imagine what it'd be to lose a son and losing a loved one and not doing anything, everything possible to save their lives. That's unimaginable to me. Yes, ma'am?
I don't care what I have to do. If I can just travel, I will advocate, I will stand, y'all can vote for me, I don't care. I'll have the backbone and I will tell it like it is. I will do it. I'm here, I promise, ask it me. She's like, tell her to please.
We fix to teach you how to do it. And I do want to
fight for her, and I just want to travel with you. I want to go there, I want to be there.
The one thing I found out when I started grassroots organizing, then nothing happened until the women get pissed off. And when they put the mask on the kids, the mama bears found, we're all, us men were jumping up and down and saying, we want to do this, we want to do that. The women over there filling out the recipe of poison somebody. That's right. That's right. But let me tell you specifically what I'm doing. To win office, there's a technique to winning office. And I'll tell you one thing. This is the best to win office. I'm going to tell you the most important thing. When I started running for office, I went to this organization taught you how to run for office. They say you put everything over here in one pile. TV ads, billboards, mailers, everything you want to do. And over here in this other pile, you put knocking on doors. You knock on doors, you look people in the eye, you introduce yourself, and I say, I'm Daniel McCormick, born and raised in this area. Got a wife, 2 kids, 6 grandkids. I got skin in the game. You know what I mean? I said, what happens to this District 1? I said, all my family lives in District 1. My business in District 1. When you elect me, you elect somebody else want to fight for you because I'm fighting for my kids just like you're fighting for yours. So what we're going to do, and Monroe I have been watching y'all. I've watched every one of these videos like 2 hours long. I'm sitting like in the bed watching it. I watched this girl in her first video she shot, and I just loved it. You know what I mean? I said, I'm like brush fires of liberty are popping up. And somebody like me, I like running over here to Monroe and blowing that fire. But I'm going to tell you, I hadn't even come along this fire. Y'all are I'm very proud of what y'all are done. But we're going to do what we call Liberty Candidate Academies. And right now we have 2 on the schedule. One in Shreveport and one in Ruston. And that's where we're going to teach you how to win these elections. We're going to teach you how to pick these candidates. We're going to teach you how to get out and take your nation back by taking back your hometown. Because we live in a republic. We said the Pledge of Allegiance a while ago. Pledge allegiance to the republic, and to the republic for which it stands. If we say we pledge allegiance to the democracy, republic. Right. In a republic, the rights and the responsibility belongs to the individual. And up to a few years ago, I was uninvolved. I had 2 fears, one of heights and one of speaking in public. You see, God delivered me from that. Still scared of heights, so we're working on that one. But that's what it's about. We're going to bring those Liberty Academies to your hometown. We're going to teach you how to organize. We're going to teach you how to run for office. And we're going to teach you to be the school board member. And in a republic, the people have to get involved. And it only takes an irate minority to get involved. The people have to get involved. And one thing I talked to Jill, God I love her, she's so much smarter than me. But I told her, Jill, I said, if we don't lose every bit of our liberty, we'll have to get all of our liberty back. That's right. And that's where we're at. We're at the tipping point. That's right. So, I think that's about all I had. Yes, yes, ma'am.
I look around and I see something missing here tonight. You know what's missing?
You.
What?
I'm not going to answer that question, even though I know the answer to it.
What I think is missing is there are no black people in the building. And we can't do this without unity. And I don't know how they should go about, opening the doors to that, but I think it's necessary.
And I will tell you this is my experience. In the liberty-minded people, who two groups are the most unvaccinated? The Christian, conservative, whites, and the inner city blacks. Neither one of us trust the government. You know what I mean? That is a barrier, that is a wedge that's been drove in our community, and we got to win that back. I guarantee you, when I ran for office, I have a lot of different nationalities in my community, and I went and sat down and talked to them. And as long as I don't use the word conservative, they believe everything I believe. But if I walked up here today and said, hey, I woke up today and said, hey, I'm a liberal, I'd like to tell you something. Would you stop listening? That's what happens in the community. That word conservative has such a negative stereotype that you can't use it. Just talk about it. Talk about their sons and their daughters. Let me talk about this. Governor Edwards and a large amount of the Democrats didn't support a bill that only would let biological females play female sports. First of all, whoever thought we'd have to run that bill? The second thing, what community do you think is going to lose scholarships to colleges more than anybody? So that's right. So those doors are going to open up, and we've got to be able to show them that, hey, Republican, Democrat, it doesn't matter. We all have skin in the game. We all have family members, and we've got things on the line here, and that's a very, very important part, and I agree with you 100%. But that's something we've got to work on.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I own a local business, and normally when people come into my business, I talk to them about hunting, or I talk to them about the weather, or I talk to them about some item that I have that I need to buy. But lately, no matter who it is, I've been talking to them about politics, which is not my thing. I don't do that. I really don't. But it's so concerning lately that I've been doing it, and there's a lot of different ethnicities coming out, and I've been talking to them over and over about the concepts that they believe in and what they have seen and heard, and it's so different. It's so different, and I'll just suggest to them, you might research that. You might just check it out, because I don't trust it. And it's a lot of people that have, I'm not saying they went and changed their mind, but, it's eye-opener.
It was easier for me to get a sign in a black person's yard than it was a white person. They're open to the message. I run a constitutional carry bill this year. I wonder what that was the wrong way. Constitutional carry bill this year. And there's a River range there in Shreveport that I went into, and you walk in there, there's just as many black citizens or more working in there and buying guns as white citizens. We're on the same page here. There's just a stereotype that we've got to break. It's just one person, one love, one word of Christ.
Yeah.
That's what it is. The love of Christ will show through you. And it's just one person at a time. And I agree. I think that's exactly right. Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry, I said.
Sometimes it can be as simple as starting a conversation. And I just do that everywhere I go through the power that God, Jesus knows is inside of me. But it can just be something as simple as saying, we are not the divided States of America. We're the United States of America. And united we stand, divided we fall. And I've never had anybody at all, like you said, bristle up at me, whenever I say something
parish and some other parishes, little snippets and things joining different Patriot pages. And I have discovered something very ugly, and it's the same law firm that's giving everybody ill advice, really bad advice, and muzzling good school board members that I was shocked weren't fighting masks and mandates. And I learned that they represent the same law firm represents 60 of the 70 districts, and I just wondered how that's legal, how that's possible, how we let that happen, and what can we do about it?
The school board hires those attorneys.
Are they under contract? I mean,
And they may be, but I will tell you this, attorneys give you opinions that you want. My brother, when I go to attorney, that attorney does not give me an opinion I don't want, or fire him or hire another one. Those people need to fire their attorneys and get an opinion that they want.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Yeah, his name's Jeff Geis, and he knows everybody more than anyone in this room. John Geis. He knows more than all of us.
Right. I appreciate it. I'm gonna stay until it's over with. Be glad to answer any questions I can. And by the way, if y'all didn't know it, I was a grassroots organizer.